Okay, I think I'm live. Where am I? If anybody is there, just let me know you can hear me well and see me well. There we are. Okay, audio seems good. Awesome. Somebody's there already. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey guys, as you come in, let me know how you're feeling. Is it hot where you are? Oh my gosh, we have really felt the heat the last few days. Summer is here. Full-blown summer is here. So as you come in, let me know how you're doing. How have you started your week? So we got one person there. Okay, we've got that one on. Where else am I live? Am I live in my profile? Let's see. Should be. Let's see. I should be there. Here I am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Nice what I saw. That's everyone. Maybe you'll see highlight. And I should also be live in YouTube as well. So as you come in, let me know how you're doing. Have you feeling this heat in the last few days? I am. And what are you doing to combat the heat? Have you got air conditioning? Or are you old school and just got the fans on? Or just white knuckling the whole heat? Let me know. So I'm just going to give everybody a couple of minutes just to jump in, make themselves comfortable. I want to talk about this topic. It's really been bugging me for a few years now, but especially the last few months, it's just really bugging me. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you in a moment why it's bugging me. Anyone's going to be the first one to say hi? Who's going to be first one to say hi? Let's give the first person who says hi a gift, a bit of an incentive. Let me see at everybody. Can I highlight everybody here as well? Fans, no, that's not going to work. So as you come in, guys, so let me put this music down. Okay, I put the music off so you can hear me well now, unless we want some music in the background. It's always nice to have a bit of music in the background. We can have another music. What about this one? I can just bring it down a little bit. If the music puts you off, just let me know and I'll take it off. So guys, been a very long time since I haven't jumped in live to Facebook. I just wanted to touch base with you guys because I got this topic in my head which is driving me absolutely nuts. I mean, I'm a fat loss instructor. I used to be a fat loss instructor back in the day, where all the hype of wanting to lose weight and lose body fat and become smaller and leaner and thinner, I was there. Hands up, I admit it. I was there with everybody else. Is what we knew at the time, and what we wanted was just to get a little bit toned, which toned really isn't a word from the bodybuilding or any musculature body. It is literally a marketed word that they just came up with to market the way that women wanted to look toned, and unfortunately along the years this has just stayed as something to really market out there, because women are really still worried. I mean, I think we've gone a long way. Many women are already now comfortable in weight training, especially at midlife, because we know that everything's on its decline. But I still believe there are many women very worried of getting, too big and too muscly and looking like, Arnold Schwarzenegger and everybody else. And, it is if you only knew, and I know so many of you may already know, how hard it is for a woman to get big muscles. I mean, it takes years. It takes years. And these big muscly women you see are competitors, so they're getting ready for competition, for racing, and many people already look a certain way because they use other means and supplementation, talking about steroids, injections, and so forth. So don't think, that I think that there's still that conversation we also need to be having around strength training and women. Is the music getting on your nerves, you guys? Let me know. Yeah, let me know if the music is getting on your nerves. And as you come in, let me know how you are feeling with this absolute heat. It's absolutely crazy. And summer is here now, full blown. I think we're good to go. So I wanted to talk about fat loss redefinition because I think many women coming into my programs and my classes are still a little bit hesitant to get heavier weights, and they only do so after being under my supervision and under seeing everybody else getting stronger around them and so forth. And I think until they are in a community where they feel they are being taken care of and being seen and heard, it's only when they really start to grasp, oh, hang on a moment, this is definitely what I should be doing. I feel in great shape, I feel in great energy, and I feel empowered when I do all these strength workouts. So I feel that still there are a lot of women that still do a lot of cardio based workouts, which I'm definitely not dissing it at all. Cardio is super important for our cardiovascular fitness. It's super important for so many systems in the body. But when you make that your sole, discipline of the whole entire fitness weekly, increment that you do, you need to be pulling in some strength training into your weekly fitness regime. I know so many people are doing it as well, so that's great, and it's good to hear that more women are coming on board. But I still really feel that I think it's only a small minority which are really grabbing it and grasping the fact that they should be really strength training, like powerlifting and stuff. And let me put the music off. I think it's probably going to be doing your head in a little bit. So when we're looking at fat loss, and what does that still mean to you? Is something that you still are looking for, something that women still want? You want to lose weight, you want to look slimmer and leaner and thinner and smaller? Because I tell you, that is something that all probably worked really well in your early 20s and maybe very early 30s, and anything above 35 and over, strength training should be your marker. It should not be cardio based workouts only. It's you're literally just undoing everything that you should be replenishing at that age. So anything 35 and over, your body is going on reverse now with regards to hormone systems. All your sex hormones are going down, and all your cortisol levels are going high, and if we don't do anything to slightly stop at the rate at which that is inevitably heading, we find that we are going to lose a lot of bone mass, a lot of muscle loss, and your energy and everything else just goes down with it. Anybody else there? Everybody's very quiet in these lives. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I don't know if this is on my profile, or is it in my, where are we? Anyway, guys, so as you come in, let me know, are you still doing your cardio? Hey, good afternoon. First time here, welcome here. Everybody's welcome in this, because there's really something I really want to, dissect. I want to peel all these onion layers and talk about what exactly are women still doing for fat loss and weight loss. Are you still on the mindset that you need to be exercising more and eating less to get to your result? And maybe in your 20s and early 30s, that might have been your way, and it was certainly my way as well. I used to be always very sporty, and I used to eat, whenever I wanted to shape up for an event or for anything really, for the summertime, for example. So I used to eat less and train more, and there you had it. I was done. I got to my goals really easily and fast, and really fast. However, that in the last 15 years literally has not worked for me at all. And what I saw was I was just training more, bashing my workouts more, smashing my workouts more, and eating next to nothing. And did I get some results? Well, of course I did. Of course I did, because but how did I feel? I felt like absolute crap. And so I just wanted to open up the conversation a little bit more about any women jumping in 35, 40, 45 and over especially, but anybody less than 45, absolutely welcome to comment on how you feel about fat loss currently. Because what I'll do with my programs is I literally we don't even talk about scale weight or bringing down portion sizes, eating less. Those things we don't even talk about. We talk about lifting weights rather than thinking of losing weight. So we focus on lifting, and we do high reps and low weights? No, we don't. We do high weights, so heavy, strong weights, and lower reps, and literally 3 or 4 exercises a week is all we do. We just do them an extra round each week. So we probably start with 3 rounds and add an extra round, and the girls will just place heavier weights on their barbells or dumbbells, or go heavier with the bands, resistant band training that we do. We couple all that with some metabolic work. Let's not now forget the importance of metabolic work, but it's not your go-to anymore. Before, there was a huge boom of HIIT workouts. It was the thing to do. The thing to do was HIIT workouts, and a lot of spin-offs from that. A lot of incredible programs have sprung up from that. So even your High Rocks, it is a HIIT workout. When you look at it, it is a HIIT workout. They just implemented some really strong strength stations to also combat the loss of bone and muscle, which is great, and it's trendy and everybody loves it and so forth. I've got my views on it for midlife women, and I am a huge advocate on, no matter your age, your circumstance, you can be this big, the strongest you've ever been, which I believe that in my heart to be true. However, anything that you are going to do, you'll always have to fine-tune it, change things around for yourself. Everybody's different. Everybody needs a different approach to everything in life. So when you are getting yourself into a general sport, you may need to train differently towards it. So is Hyrox a good thing or a bad thing? It is a really cool thing. I love Hyrox. However, is it great for midlife women? Not 100%. So midlife women, you would really, just benefit from 3 to 4 exercise strength exercises. And when I'm saying strength, I'm not saying, I don't want to sound condescending at all. For women who've never done anything in their lives, and they're doing, the dumbbell training at home, and the small little dumbbells, that's absolutely a great start. And I applaud every woman for that. Going forwards, my classes are completely taking a different course, a different shape. I'm taking smaller groups now, and I am really purposely doing 3 to 4 exercises, one for the upper, one for the lower, a full body, and maybe some metabolic on the side. Plus, you really need to body condition that body. It needs to be lovely and mobilized through the joints, and your core needs to be nice and steady. And we do technique classes and so forth. So I do know that also, that for me, that is one of the biggest pinnacles of fat loss in 2026. 2026, there's no longer everybody on cardio machines, doing hour-long workouts in cardio machines, eating next to nothing, and everybody used to walk around looking like death warmed up. That's no longer. If you're still doing that, unless you are, someone that's training for a particular sport with a lot of cardio, then, but if you're not, if you're just a regular Joe like me, you really need to up your game on the strength. And with that, think of body and mind workouts as well, to just bring that cortisol down. And another, part of the body and mind and the well-being aspects, always looking to, bringing that cortisol down, and that sympathetic nervous system down as well. Because, especially at midlife, women are so squeezed. We are in that sandwich era, everybody calls it. We've got little time to do our favorite things, let alone train if it's not your favorite thing. It is mine, and if it is yours, then you'll find the time to do that. But if it's not your favorite thing in the world to train, then how on earth are you going to think, okay, I've got to go to the gym for an hour or two, and then who has that time? I don't. And if you are someone who's pretty stuck on how to start, you really want to have a piece of everybody else's game. You've seen the women transform their bodies and minds in midlife, and you want a piece of that as well. Trying to increase my weights. I love working out, have done good thus far, but need to be better from a lower body. Absolutely. And the fact that you are already talking like that, increasing your weights, you're doing good so far, means that you're already in that trajectory. You're already in that journey. That's absolutely amazing. Sorry if anybody else is commenting. I don't seem to see the rest of the comments in Facebook. I just got the ones from YouTube. Does anybody else see me? I won't be long, guys. We're just going to jump in just to see what everybody's thoughts was on this, and just give you a bit of just to brainstorm a little bit with you guys. But when we're redefining fat loss, it's not there's one particular exercise or one particular way to eat, or a diet plan, or an exercise prescription. Definitely is not about a shake or a pill, or nowadays injections. If you have medically being prescribed any of that, absolutely brilliant, good for you. If it's for losing weight and fat loss just for aesthetic reasons, then I would not go down the route at all. And I know for many people that is an option, but for me and for what I advocate, I mean, you feel so empowered when you're doing your strength training, knowing that you're nurturing your body, you're getting your bones and your muscles, everything it needs, really investing in good quality dietary protein, having a good all round wholesome foods into your diet, and focusing more on eating rather than losing. And it's a longer approach and a longer term approach, but my gosh, when you get there, it's just the absolutely best feeling in the world, because what you suddenly do is you're no longer chasing your results, you're living in them, you're living inside of your results. And I don't think there is anything better than feeling at your ultimate best in energy and everything else, than that. And I think that women have lost their way, or have huge hangovers from the 80s and the 90s of what fat loss truly is. There's no one thing for fat loss. It really, really frustrates me no end when I see the news feeds. Oh, do this for fat loss, or take this for fat loss, or this is the only thing that works for fat. There's no one thing that's going to work for fat loss. My God, it's just like, I want to jump into the news feeds and I won't. But at the end of the day, it's all about the whole 360. And what are you doing in your well-being, in your strengths, in your mind and bodies? What are you doing as an overall, arch theme? And stress relieving, really bringing that cortisol down, thinking of regulating your nervous system. It's just not strength training, is just not your nutrition, is just not your lowering cortisol. It's just everything together. And the good thing is that that in communities led by a coach is where you start to really feel that you are moving that needle. I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Thanks for commenting. Doses of Shani, beautiful name, by the way, or beautiful YouTube name. I love it. But that's what I feel. I think that fat loss has, for some reason, still ingrained in women's minds decades later to something that is really not the case anymore. It never was, but now we know more. And if we don't start changing the narrative as instructors and coaches and experts, and then how on earth is the general woman going to know any better? If all you see in the news feeds are just things that 100% some of the times are just targeted at generalizations or men. Yeah, I've been on GLP-1 and lost over 100 pounds, eating healthy, getting all my nutrients, have strength trained since before the shot. Awesome. Due to health and conditions, decided to take the shot to assist me. Yes, absolutely. And I really admire that. At the end of the day, honestly, I really admire that you're doing it alongside. That's the key, alongside, So as I said before, if you've been prescribed to it medically, then brilliant, and everybody each to their own. I think there is a lot of space for people to be on GLPs and so forth. However, how are you sort of looking through the trajectory of your journey with it? Are you doing it alongside some strength training and some really good habit stacking, other than just I want to lose all this weight, and then what? Once you stop them, everything will just come back because you have been suppressing your appetite and so forth, and then everything just comes back. Yes, my cardiologist is surprising for me. Good. And that's what and it's all about person to person rather than generalization, like I always come to the fore and say. So guys, thanks for listening. If this interests you, if this topic interests you, I mean, it does really, I could talk about this all day, but if this topic, it really interests you, let me know. And I've got a 21-day challenge starting Monday called the 21-day upgrade, lift lean for summer, and we really get into nuts and bolts of this topic, how to get to your results in a different way. Now the fat loss redefined, what really works for midlife nowadays. You'd be shocked to see what works nowadays against all the myths that are still lingering in the news feeds. You're welcome. So guys, 21-day challenge starts on Monday. 21-day upgrade, lift lean for summer. And it's like a sort of an entry space where you want to, learn a little bit more about how to get strength training in you and safely and effectively for your phase in your life, how to eat effectively and fuel yourself around training. Also, what are the other spin-offs to combat into that challenge to help you to get to your overall best in 21 days. You're 51 interested in the challenge. Good. So let's do it this way. So just comment 21 day and I will send you all the information to you, and we can get cracking and you can see me on the inside. How about that? Yeah. And I've got a discount for everybody who comments 21 day in here and wants to join in. So the regular fee is £47 and I will give it to you for I'll give it to you for 37. Yeah. Let me know. 21 day. I'll get back to you. I'll give you the details in a moment. Yeah. What's your name, by the way? Is it still Doses of Shani or is it Shani? I love that. So guys, love you and leave you. Hope this has helped to open up at least the mindset a little bit on, oh my God, am I still stuck in the 80s and 90s? Or am I really working towards a future fat loss defining a new way for fat loss, because it's just absolutely so outdated, you guys. Have a great rest of the afternoon and I catch you soon. Comment 21 day for your discount.